If you're building retrieval augmented generation, RAG, on Azure, you hit a fork early. Where do your embeddings live? The two frontrunners are Azure AI Search and Azure Cosmos DB. Both can store vectors and run approximate nearest neighbor search, but they're built for different worlds. In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you where each one shines, where each one hurts, the cost and operations trade-offs, and a crisp rule for picking one. Prices and feature limits move fast here, so confirm specifics against the current Azure docs before you commit. Strip RAG down, and the retrieval layer needs 4 things. 1. Store high-dimensional embedding vectors, often 1536 dimensions from text embedding 3 small. 2. Run fast similarity search to find the top results for a query vector. 3. Filter and combine with keyword or metadata search so you're not relying on vectors alone. And 4. Scale and stay cheap as your corpus grows into millions of chunks. Both services check these boxes on paper. The difference is how they're architected and what else comes along for the ride. Azure AI Search is a dedicated search engine, and retrieval quality is its whole job. Its killer feature is hybrid search. It fuses vector similarity with BM25 keyword scoring using reciprocal rank fusion, then optionally re-ranks with a semantic L2 model. In practice, that hybrid plus re-rank combination measurably beats pure vector search on relevance, which directly improves your grounding. You also get built-in skill sets and indexes that chunk, embed, and ingest documents from blob storage or a database with almost no glue code. If retrieval accuracy is what makes or breaks your RAG app, this is the specialist. Cosmos DB takes the opposite angle. Keep vectors next to your operational data. With the integrated vector store, both the NoSQL API with DiskANN indexing and the Mongo vCore API, I'll let you add an embedding field right on the document you're already storing. That means no second service, no separate sync pipeline, and one consistency and security boundary. You get transactional writes, global distribution, and millisecond reads on the same records you query for everything else. If your app already runs on Cosmos DB and vectors are just one more attribute, collocating them is a genuinely simpler architecture. Put them side by side. AI search wins on relevance, hybrid retrieval, semantic re-ranking, and faceting are first class, and indexers handle ingestion for you. But it's a separate system you must keep in sync with your source of truth, and that sync can drift. Cosmos DB wins on simplicity and freshness. Vectors update transactionally with the document, so there's no lag and no extra service. The cost is weaker relevance tuning, since you're doing pure vector search without a built-in re-ranker. It's the classic specialist versus integrated trade-off. On cost, the models differ. AI search bills per provision tier and replica partition units, so you pay for capacity whether or not you're querying, plus extra charges if you enable semantic ranking. Cosmos DB bills request units and storage, so a low traffic vector workload can be cheaper, but heavy ingestion of high-dimensional vectors burns a US and storage fast. Operationally, AI search means running and monitoring a second stateful service and its indexes. Cosmos DB folds vectors into infrastructure you already operate. Run the numbers for your own corpus size and query rate, and always check current pricing in the Azure docs because both models change. Here's how the integrated path looks in practice. Your app calls Azure OpenAI to embed the user's question, runs a vector query against your chosen store, pulls the top chunks, and stuffs them into the prompt for the chat model. With Cosmos DB, the store and your app data are the same database. With AI search, you'd add an indexer that pulls from blob storage and embeds on ingestion. The retrieval box is the only piece that changes. Everything else in the RAG loop stays identical, which is exactly why this decision is swappable if you keep retrieval behind an interface. So here's my rule. Reach for Azure AI search when retrieval quality is the product, when you ingest documents from many sources, or when you need hybrid and re-ranking to hit your grounding targets. Reach for Cosmos DB when your data already lives there, when freshness and transactional updates matter, and when avoiding a second service is worth giving up the re-ranker. And because both are evolving quickly, validate features, limits, and pricing in the current Azure docs before you build. Keep retrieval behind a clean interface, and you can switch later with minimal pain. If this helped, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.